We were
Yummy.
to get the streetcar
Okay.
hooked up to go to the main road where the church was, and then we had to walk, I think, a little ways and catch another
Streetcar?
streetcar and go to high school.
Oh, wow.
And then we had to come home that way too.
So you
Oh my
lived there from
God.
kindergarten to high school?
Huh?
You lived there from like your elementary years to high school?
No. My elementary years were,
Nebraska.
yeah, like 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
And then we moved.
Why did you guys move from Nebraska to Chicago?
Because of 1942, the beginning of the war.
Yeah.
And my dad was a excellent machinist.
Okay.
And he could put out stuff to the nth degree.
No
Oh, wow.
way.
And so he worked there, and my mom worked.
What did your mom do?
She sewed, and I started working when we were there. And I was elevator operator
So
That's
cool.
cool.
with the big iron bar that I had
Yeah.
to pull across.
Did you really?
That was my first job.
Oh my
At like
God,
a
that's so
hotel?
Huh?
At a hotel?
No, honey,
Or
in
at...
Goldblatt Brothers store. Store.
Like a store where you go buy clothes?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
okay.
That's cool.
They had, oh yeah, that would make sense because escalators wouldn't have been around then.
No,
Only elevators. That's pretty, that's
elevators
really
and
cool.
with those big doors.
Yeah.
And as short as I am, I had to operate them.
What a
Was
cool
that-
first job.
Huh?
Was it scary?
No.
No? I got into, so they have an elevator at the Jerome Grand Hotel. It used to be the hospital. So they have an elevator up there like that, and I went up it one time, and I will never do it again. I can't imagine that being a
Well,
job.
that's like at the town square in Prescott. A lot of those buildings are historical, and so they try not to do any modern stuff to it. So a lot of it is the same wiring from like the 1920s.
Oh my.
Like all the
Cables
bones
and
of the
everything.
building is almost all original, and they only fix it if it breaks. And so Tammy works at a building that used to be the bank in Prescott, and it was the bank from 1901 to like 1947 or 48, and it has the same
Is
elevator.
Is he eating, taking a bite out of that?
No, she's eating that banana.
Okay.
She
but,
likes the banana.
Oh,
She
okay.
works in the old bank, and it has a lot of the same, even like the same pictures.
Oh, that's weird. So why did you guys, so you moved to Chicago because your dad was a machinist, and so then
It was during the war.
why
So then
did you
after
move?
the war, did you move back to Nebraska?
No,
No.
Michigan? Minnesota.
Minnesota.
And that's where your sister lives.
Yeah.
Because we went to go visit, and we went to
Aunt
the
May were.
cornfield. Yeah. We went and played in the cornfield.
No, we didn't go play in the cornfield. We weren't allowed to play in the cornfield.
It's probably because we got lost.
When did we get lost? Maybe you did. I didn't.
That's silly. That's silly. Go bang, 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 bang. Yay, yay, yay. Bang, 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 bang.
She's like,
And-
Mammie.
Oh, let's see then. We moved out of Chicago because my dad was afraid I was going to come home with a Mexican or an Italian.
Sounds pretty accurate for those times.
And he says, we're moving.
Yeah.
So we went to Minnesota, and I had relatives there. We went to Nebraska first, and then we went to Minnesota.
So you told me the story about you going either from Nebraska to Chicago or from Chicago to Minnesota on a flatbed in a bathtub.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, I don't think Chelsea's heard that.
yeah,
What?
in a truck. Well, we were moving.
So you
We were in Chicago, and Dad and Grandma had already gone and talked to his brother and sister-in-law in Minnesota and bought that farm. They were selling it.
Okay.
They bought that. And so they had to come to Chicago to get us. And somebody ordered a bathtub. And Dad bought a truck and a bathtub and all our furniture and stuff that we had and drove to Minnesota. And I rode in the bathtub.
It's so funny. I love it.
That is so. How many hours of it, or how long was the drive?
Honey, I don't know.
That probably has to be like from Chicago to Minnesota, probably like
5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
Huh.
Something like that.
That's
do
not
remember-
bad. At least you got to stretch out and be comfortable.
Yeah.
I do remember telling me when I was younger how you met Grandpa, because you and your friends were laying in your front lawn, and Grandpa and his
We were
friends.
laying on a hill, and there was a ditch, and then there was ground, and we were in the sun on that hill, and Wally drove up, and we all jumped up. All there was 2 of us.
Yeah.
We jumped up, and because we hadn't had any time to make friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were totally stuck out in the crowd because our clothes were Chicago.
Oh.
And
Oh,
I
so
had
you had, like,
platform
city clothes.
shoes. When they first came out with the big platform shoes,
Oh my God.
and around the ankle, just straps and these big
Yeah.
I would have
and
loved to see a
long
picture.
dress.
Yeah.
Navy blue, a big bunch of dress. It was a very expensive dress on my hip.
Uh-huh.
It was like a wrap drape.
Oh, that sounds really pretty.
And if we went any place, that's all we had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you went from the city to a small
Oh,
town.
and we were stuck out like a sore thumb.
Oh my.
I bet.
So, anyhow,
And didn't it take Grandpa a couple times to get you to go out with him?
yeah.
Yeah.
But he taught me how to drive.
Oh,
And I like that.
Did he really? That was great.
I like that. No, and Dad's the one
I didn't
that
know
picked,
Grandpa taught you how to drive.
Yeah, Dad's the one that picked him out.
Really?
Yeah, my
He
father.
was like, I like him.
Well, he was big and strong.
Oh, yeah.
He knew how to farm.
Yeah.
He knew how to do things. He rode horses.
Grandpa rode horses?
Yes.
Hmm.
He knew how to take care of the farm and
Yeah.
stuff. He had a horse,
Oh, I never knew that.
and it was big and
Did you
strong.
ride horses?
Huh?
Did you ride horses?
No.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah?
we always went to forest preserves in Chicago,
Oh, okay.
and I always got the biggest horse,
I bet you
the
did.
fattest one, and then we always had to cross a
Nothing. Oh,
low water.
Uh-huh.
And that damn thing wanted to lay down in
Oh,
that
that
water
is too
every
funny.
time we went through.
that's funny.
That's
How far
funny.
apart are you and your sister in age?
Huh?
How far apart are you and your sister in age? 3
In-
years?
In what?
In age. Like, how far apart are you guys?
Who?
You and Aunt Maver.
You and Aunt Maver.
3 years.
3 years older
Yeah.
than you?
She's older than you?
No,
You're older than her.
I'm the oldest
You're the
one.
oldest.
I never had any problems of being accepted or
Yeah.
having any hang-up problems of
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Because I was the firstborn on both sides of the family.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I didn't know that. For some reason I was thinking Aunt Maver was older than you.
Well, she had 10 kids.
Yeah.
I only had 5.
I didn't know she had
Only.
10.
Only had 5. Mammy only had 5 kids.
Because Uncle Mike was a twin, right?
And then I lost
And then
another
you
set.
lost one.
Another set of twins.
Twins. And then you had Aunt Lynn. And then 2 years later you had Dad? 2 years later you had Dad?
No. I think it was 3 years. I don't know. Yeah. Mike was in 40. Lynn was in 50. That would sound right. 50.
That would make Uncle Mike 80 years old.
Well, he's 70.
Uncle Mike is 70?
Yeah, Dad's 63.
That's crazy to think about.
So
That's crazy to think about. That Uncle Mike is 70.
And honey, I'm 90, gonna be 92.
I know. Weird.
yeah.
But look at what I'm still doing.
Yeah. I was actually telling Craig, I said, you know what's funny is I just remember Mammie always being a strong, tough woman, and I don't see her as ever getting old. Like, you've always been the same. And to see that you are getting old and that you are 92, it's...
Mamie
I'm
can still go
stand
clean.
strong.
And you just stopped mowing your lawn, like, what, 4 months ago?
Honey, I
Are you
was
still
still
weeding?
outside all the time.
Can you even pick up a weed eater?
Huh?
Don't be rude.
Can you pick up a weed eater still?
Yeah, she has a
Yeah.
weed eater.
It's not
I've
heavy?
got a weed eater.
Oh,
Is she weeding?
I have a hard time weed eating because my arms get tired.
Mamie has this like really awesome, super light like weed eater, and
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, it's a good one. It's battery.
But it's heavy.
yeah,
It's heavy, and it's just...
yeah.
Nice. What are you talking about?
And wear long pants
Really?
because it throws the
Stuff
the
right back
dirt
at you.
and the little rocks against your legs, and then you got legs that look like mine
Yeah.
Beat to crap.
that are all black and blue.
Phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Black and blue and green and yellow and...
So Chelsea has to leave in a few minutes because Peyton has a
Meet the teacher.
A what?
meet the teacher.
I have to go meet Peyton's teacher for this next year and drop off school supplies and do all that fun
Peyton.
stuff. Mm-hmm.
She's going to stay here?
No. In Chino.
Oh.
I have to drive back to Chino
Oh.
to be
Well, I
there.
thought you're not going to leave your kids here.
No.
And you're going to go home and...
That would be nice sometimes. though.
No. You'd miss them.
Yes.
And they'd miss you. Now you stop that mess. Anyhow, you are going to take these home, aren't you?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay. You want me to get you a plastic bag to put them in?
No.
No? You're going to just...
Take them home and probably eat them when I get home.
Good. I like them just like that.
Dip them in some ranch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just eat it.
Can you believe how expensive mayonnaise is?
Huh?
Can you believe how expensive mayonnaise is?
No.
It's $4.99
Really?
for 1 pint jar of mayonnaise.
Pint.
Of mayonnaise.
Didn't pay that much for a quart.
I know. That's insane. Everything's shot up. So that's why I'm so adamant on wanting to like garden because food's expensive.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Good, and you can.
Yeah.
Be one of the few that know how.
Did you why did you start gardening? Did you start gardening when you were like a kid? Or did
No.
you pick up the skill with
Or was it when you
Yeah,
built your
but
house?
we always worked with
the land?
our grandparents.
Uh-huh.
They were on a farm. They always had stuff.
Yeah.
We'd pick beans and crack beans and clean them, and Grandma would boil them and put them in jars.
Yeah.
We didn't do that, but we would go wash them and pick them,
Yeah.
and they had mulberry trees, and they'd shake them down, and we'd have a sheet out under them.
Do you know what I remember when we were little? Remember when we would go camping with you guys? And it wasn't camping, we would go like, I don't know, we went to Nebraska. Were you with me? And we went to go see Cousin Patrick.
You went one time, and then I went the next summer. Like, you went by yourself one summer, and then the next summer, you and I both went, and we drove to Minnesota.
I remember that. Okay, and then, but we went to go see Pat at the Air Force Base.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if it was like Nevada or Nebraska. It was Nebraska.
Yeah.
And there was this big like base, and we were at this campground.
Yes.
And you made these jars for us to catch fireflies.
I remember.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
And so the mulberries, there was like tons of mulberry trees.
Yeah.
And like I remember you telling us what they were because I wanted to eat them, and I didn't know if I could because you guys always told us not to eat berries if we didn't know what they were.
And making the bags out of grocery bags
Yeah.
and hats.
And hats, yeah.
And give you diarrhea if you ate too many.
Yeah. Yeah. But when you said mulberries, that's what I remember.
And painting rocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking of the other night. I was sitting in my chair and I was thinking, I was remembering the layout of my grandparents' place,
Uh-huh.
of doing it in not in paint, but just in rough sketches.
Oh, you should.
And so that you could show your kids what you came from.
That would be so cool, Mammy.
And I was thinking, I just do sketches, not do paint.
Yeah, no, just do a sketch.
And
Where
'cause I've got
Where did your grandparents live?
in Nebraska.
In Nebraska?
My great-grandparents
Uh-huh.
came from Europe.
Okay.
They came over the Alps. That's as far as they could trace their heritage back.
Okay.
What they were on this side, they couldn't go
couldn't.
any farther.
Okay.
You didn't know what they were
Right.
originally. They
Right.
crossed the Alps,
Uh-huh.
and then they went down into the Polish and that area,
Uh-huh.
and they came across on Ellis Island on a
What?
boat.
Do you remember
landed-
their names?
Huh?
Do you remember their names?
Well, of course.
I don't know. What are they? This is the first time you've ever told me this story.
That's really cool. Not cool,
Well,
but
I've got girls, I've got their record,
Right.
from
their
Ellis Island.
home. I'm not from Ellis
okay.
Island, but from when they landed.
Okay.
And they were put on a train and shipped to Nebraska.
What?
Well, yeah. Honey, they came across the ocean.
Did they choose to go to Nebraska, or was that just
Yeah,
kinda
that
like
was the
the
farmland.
plan? Oh.
Okay.
And they walked 5 acres
Uh-huh.
and chose the land they wanted.
What?
Uh-huh.
That is so cool.
Anyhow, I've got that record.
So, do we have family in Nebraska? Because
Yes, I
remember-
have cousins.
You have cousins in Nebraska?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Dad mentioning them every once in a while, but I mean, have you ever been close with any of them?
Well, yeah, we were until the new generation came around.
Oh, yeah.
Next time we come over, we should have Mammie show us.
Now, I've got 2 books, one from either side of the family, both sides of the family, of their coming to the United States.
Oh, that is
Can we
so
look at them
Next time?
next time
Yeah,
and spend time looking
Sure.
at them? Can we write that down so we remember?
Can you?
I don't have to write it down.
I have to write it down.
I have
Got
to.
that.
I have, like...
Girls, come on.
No, I need to write it down because I'm forgetful.
Mary, I have put everything. You should see my calendar. It is like a